Thank you, Wendy. Joining us now is a young man who we're going to call Frankie Mouse. That's not his real name, but the guy who we're calling Frankie Mouse is a pirate, and he's going to show us quite an incredible demonstration. Gary?
You know, Stuart, I think it's one of the important things we should mention is that by showing these activities on the show here, we're not really condoning them in any way. In fact, we're not condoning them at all. But I think it's a rare opportunity for us to get a chance to see just exactly what pirating is all about. Frankie, what's going on here?
Okay, we're logged onto a bulletin board right now, and what you see on the screen are titles of text files that you can look at. The ones of interest right here are like Basics of Cracking 101, etc. If you're not already a pirate, these will tell you how to.
There's a little course on how to be...
Basically, yeah, there's many parts to it. In fact, not all of it is displayed here. There's much more than what you see here. And these are Apple II oriented. If you want to look at one, just type the number of it, and it will start scrolling across the screen right here. I would like to have brought a 1200 baud modem. It would have gone a lot faster.
Okay, so this is one of your how-to text files on a kind of...
Basically, right. Well, first of all, they're not mine. Somebody else has written these, and basically they go all over the country. But
this is a bulletin board that, a local bulletin board that people dial into from, they say, all over the country. So how many people are, let's say, would be involved in this particular activity here?
Well, it all depends on the board. Some boards have got as few as 100 members. Some boards have got 2,000 and 3,000 members.
Okay, now, so can we go on this bulletin board and actually get a piece of pirated software?
There are items like that that exist. For the Apple II especially, they're called AE lines. And that's it's not really a bulletin board, but it is a way of allowing you to call that computer and download files that have already been cracked. This particular bulletin board does not have anything like that.
Okay.
How many bulletin boards are there like this throughout the country, just as a guess? Do you have any idea at all? Hundreds or? Hundreds,
maybe thousands. I have really no idea. They're all over the place, though.
How do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel like it's why do you do this? What's the reason?
Well, unlike West Coast Computer Connection here, we don't do anything like that for profit. Basically, it's just for fun and recognition. I mean, if you have a popular name, such as you mentioned the name Mr. Crackman to any pirate, and they'll know who you're talking about. They won't know who he is personally, but they'll know who you're referring to. So
your interest is in I guess in the fun that you would have in actually cracking the program, and that's the activity that
it's kind of like a game, right? And, you know, you're outsmarting the software makers.
Do you feel like that has any? Are there any moral issues at all that you're worried about?
Well, you can't deny it. I guess it is stealing. I mean, you didn't pay for it, and now you have it. I mean, you've got it somewhere. That's stealing. I really can't say, though, how much software companies lose in revenue because, first of all, a copied program is like free advertising in a way because it goes out. And among me and my friends, we have sort of a code of honor that we follow. If we have a program and we use it a lot, we like it, we will go out and buy it, simply so we have the manuals and the support and all that stuff.
Frankie, if you could log off here, and I want you to show me your pirated DB master in a second. And Neil, while Frankie's doing that, how do you react to what you just heard from Neil as a guy who represents software publishers?
Well, I think there's both a moral issue here and a legal issue. As we talked about before, and you know, Frankie didn't hear that, but he may catch it later. Really, the fact that people are using this software and not paying for it really means the software is a lot more expensive. And I think that there's an economic issue here that they really, if everybody was using it, paid a small amount, we'd probably have the price drop dramatically. The second part is illegal, and I'm happy to hear Frankie admit that it is in fact stealing. It is in fact a criminal act. There's a copyright infringement has been a crime and continues to be a crime. You can get a year in jail, perhaps more monetary fines, as well as use of trademarks where you do use the name of the trademark. We have a new criminal statute, criminal counterfeiting statute that provides up to 5 years in jail. So,
okay, sure. Let's go back to Frankie. What do you have here now, Frankie?
Okay, this is a popular program for the Apple II known as DB Master. And it's protected like crazy. You can't copy it conventionally.
What did you do?
What we've done to it is we've totally opened it up. I mean, you can copy it from BASIC right now. There's no protection whatsoever. And one thing that we found that was interesting when we did it is that DB Master is written for a large part in BASIC. I mean, most commercial programs are written in assembly language.
So in the process of copying this right now, listing down.
Right.
What would it take, Frankie, for you to buy a program?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well,
rather
than steal it. So, is there any incentive that a manufacturer could provide for you to buy that program?
Well, like I say, if I have a program that I use a lot, I'll buy it for the manuals and for the support. So I guess what I could say is to put out good manuals and support the product.
Okay, gentlemen, Frankie and Neil, thanks a lot. Now, as we see, this is a complex issue with problems of morality and ethics and price and so on. Commentator Paul Schindler has some thoughts on the whole problem of piracy.
Avast! I'll bet you never thought of old Paul Schindler as a pirate. But you know, there are some people who do.